Welcome to Wrestling with Heart, a podcast looking at pro wrestlers giving back to their community. Join me, Stanley Carr, as I interview wrestling's hottest names who use their platforms as entertainers to raise awareness and do community service. Hello, and welcome to another edition of Wrestling with Heart. This is the show where we talk with professional wrestlers and professional wrestling personalities about their lives in and outside of the ring, as well as doing acts of charity work, community service, volunteering, and spreading positivity. We're all about the positivity here on the show. And I've got a very special guest with me here. She is a legend in the wrestling business. She is a multiple-time women's champion with WWE, with Impact Wrestling TNA, and she has done, she has worked with so many incredible people over the years. Pleased to welcome the one, the only Victoria. Welcome to Wrestling with Heart.
Thanks, Stanley. Thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yay. I like that intro also.
It's my pleasure.
Seriously.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like when we do these interviews, like it's amazing like how much we've done. When I do these interviews, I'm like, oh my God, I should be 90 years old for how much I've done. You know what I mean?
Unbelievable. So let's kind of get into it. You're from San Bernardino, California. Tell me about your upbringing and childhood.
Oh my gosh. I was spoiled. I'll be honest with you. I have 3 older brothers. They were all amateur wrestlers. So, you know, it's not shocking that I come from an athletic family. You know, my oldest brother got the Pan American gold medal in, Olympics. So, he was my role model. I'll be honest with you. He was straight A student, just involved with the community. And he's still one of my my role models, is because he's like with the Chamber of Commerce. He helps small businesses, and he's just a go-getter. Honestly, that's where I get like my ambition, I think, is not my mom and dad too, but my oldest brother, Bob Soul, is my ultimate role model.
Someone once told me that if you're around a lot of people that are doing things, actively doing things, it'll help you get better as well. So that's so awesome to hear that you've got a family that's, you know, backing you, and they're just doing stuff and they're active.
Yeah. And I didn't get bullied. Everyone's like, no wonder you're so tough. And I'm like, no, they didn't touch it. They didn't lay a hand on me. You know what I mean? They all spoiled me. My oldest brother, Bob, bought me my first car. And the middle brother, Mike, got me my first motorcycle, my dirt bike. And the youngest one dragged me around everywhere with his girlfriends. And I always got attached to the girlfriends. And when they would break up with them, I would be, I need to be in my room, because I got so attached to people. Yeah.
But you
go ahead. Go figure, like me being such a tough ass, I am a mush, believe it or not.
But you're the sister that consoled with your brother when things got rough. And so that's so amazing that you had that relationship.
I got jumped in when I was in elementary school, I believe. And some high school girls were trying to steal our 10-speed bike. And with my best friend, Audra Jo LaBelle, back in the day. And we came back home crying and laughing, going, I can't believe that happened. I can't believe, what the hell? My brother got in the truck with his wrestling buddies, and we went to go find the girls. He rounded them up in the truck, took them to the police station, and no one bothered me. Honestly, my brothers were like, you don't lay family's everything.
Yeah,
I was like the mafioso.
Well, that's good. That's really nice. Was wrestling something that you watched growing up? I know you did like a lot of bodybuilding and fitness competitions before getting into wrestling.
Not at all. I was a cheerleader and gymnast, and I took a lot of dance classes. And when I did one bodybuilding competition, just one. That's at the middleweight. And someone approached me at the gym and said, you should do a bodybuilding competition. And I was like, I thought this guy was hitting on me, I'll be honest with you, because gyms are, just like a bar. Yeah. And he goes, I'll help you with your diet. I just need to clean up your diet just to get you. And I go, when is this competition? And he goes, in 30 days. And I go, what? I ended up doing that. Then I saw the Fitness America on television with the dance routine, the gymnastics, and the bikini, and like the muscles and stuff like that. That's what, then I said, screw this bodybuilding. This is not me. I'd rather do that to show personality and stuff like that. It was like a pageant for bodybuilders, and you had to do certain moves in your routine to show your strength. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it was, yeah. And that's how I met Tori Wilson, was through fitness competitions. Yeah. And Trish Stratus from the fitness industry. So yeah. And then we became best friends, ended up living with her years back. And then I lived with her again after my divorce. And yeah, we became super tight, and she got into WCW, and she brought me backstage, and I couldn't believe she was getting paid just to walk a guy down to the ring. And so that's opened my eyes going, I think I can do this. And I would watch like RVD, Rey Mysterio, and I was like, being gymnast, I was like, oh, I could do that. You know what I mean? But me being a bigger girl, I'd rather be the powerhouse. Like, let the other girls fly around, because that's injuries, more injuries for the flyers. And I was like, I'll catch you all day long. You know what I mean? So I got to use my muscle in that department, you know?
When you're in that world, the training process is a whole nother animal in itself. Tell me about that, because when you're doing fitness modeling and all these other things, it's no joke getting into the ring.
And me being super confident, going, well, I'm an athlete. I was a gymnast. I was, I did bodybuilding. I ran track. I was a very competitive person. And, in our cheerleading, it sounds foo-foo, but our cheerleading, we had to do gymnastics. Like, it was very competitive, very competitive. We did a lot of competitions. And I thought, of course, I thought, oh, I'm going to get this just like that. I thought it was a dance routine that you just go 5, 6, 7, 8 and do the whole routine, right?
Mm-hmm.
And little did I know, oh my God, the first day I went to UPW, I sent in my tryout video and my package to WWF, and China gave me the address to where to send my stuff and my $600 VHS tape that I paid for my tryout video. And, I was living in Los Angeles. No one presents themselves half-ass, excuse if I'm allowed to cuss. I'm sorry, Stanley.
Okay.
But you present yourself, or you just 100%, or you just don't present yourself. You don't send a backyard wrestling gig. You know what I mean? And they reached out to me. Kevin Kelly said, Jim Ross has never seen a tryout package so professionally done. And they're like, we see you wrestle. And I was like, oh my gosh. He goes, do you have wrestling? I go, I have 3 older brothers but I am an athlete. I think I can pick up quickly. And I went to UPW. I called them and said, hey, WWE reached out to me, and could I come to your school and learn? And John Cena was there, Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels, Jerry Lynn. There were so many names, Frankie Kazarian. There were just all these people. Okay. I was very lucky. I went to the best of the schools. Okay. And learned from the best. And that later on was MCW Memphis with Jerry Lawler. And next was OVW. And they had me, I come in with my hair done, fake nails, looking cute with my matching workout gear. And they're like, hey, let's come in the ring. All right, let's see what you got. And they taught me how to bump. Yeah, that was initiation. I didn't realize it at the time. You start from the ground and you pound, and like, there's a technique for bumping without shattering your elbows or your neck. You have to tuck your neck and stuff like that. There's a lot of, and I came back the next day, and Samoa Joe and a lot of the guys were like, what are you doing here? And I go, I thought I was invited back. I drove 3 hours from Los Angeles, and they were like, we didn't think you were going to come back. And I go, I can't turn my neck this way, but now I need 29 days to learn how to wrestle to meet WWF at the time. And that's when Samoa Joe took me under his wing, and he goes, okay, let me teach you how to tie up, lock up. I think that's just to weed out, I don't know how the training is these days, but back in the day, they're going to wring the sweat, tears, and blood
really,
out. You know what I mean? To
really
see how much
to work. Yes.
It's like, if you can't handle this, you're not going to come back. You kind of weed them out right away. You know what I mean? Because people think it's super easy to learn how to wrestle. I thought it was going to take me 30 days to learn how. Meanwhile, I'm in wrestling school for 3 years. And still, when I got brought up to TV, you're still learning. You're never, that's why I don't understand when there's graduations at wrestling schools. There's no such thing as graduation, like you still keep on learning and like work the camera angles and like, just how to sell and getting the fans to care, That's the psychology of it is the most difficult part,
Right.
to have the craft of telling a story in a match and sucking in the fans to really, me being a heel, I want you to feel sorry and boo me and cheer and please get up for the underdog, So that's a
Exactly.
talent. Yeah, it's difficult.
It's a matter of why you're doing the moves as opposed to just doing them. And so you have to
You
really
get
like
it, Stanley. There you go. You can enter wrestling school with that mentality.
yeah,
People think they could just learn and go, I can do cool moves and that'll make me a superstar. No, no. Yeah, you have to have the gift of telling the story and getting people to care. Even though it's entertainment, you still want people to invest in that soap opera. You know,
do you feel
yeah,
that's a lost art these days as opposed to when you were there?
yeah. They're great athletes and they're very agile and just they can run circles around me. I'll be honest with you with their cardio and their like what they can do in the ring. But there's a reason for every single move. You don't just go out there and do everything. You need to start up slow. I don't like spot fest shows. I don't care how cool you can do a move. If you don't intrigue me and suck me in the first 30 seconds of the match, I'm not going to care. And I'm going to go, with ADHD, which I have. I'm queen of ADHD. But if you don't have me, suck me in for the first 30 seconds to a minute, I'm going to change the channel. Or I'm just going to go, okay, what's on my phone? You know what I mean? So there's an art for getting people, I love the storytelling. You know what I mean? I don't like the 1 month angles. I like the long 6 months to
Yeah,
fighting for the belt, the championship belt, and the backstage scene and stuff like that. And I do
exactly.
miss the art about, not knowing the magic. We weren't allowed to ride with our enemies, like
Yeah.
heels and babyface,
Mhm.
if we had an angle, because we you don't want to know Santa's not real.
Exactly.
You kind of want to know you don't want to know the magic. So if there was one time I did drive with Trish. I don't know why. Maybe the cars were out and I couldn't rent a car. And I ducked in the back to go to the building. And there was one time she wore a brown wig. But, of course, they're like, is that Trish with a brown wig? She's still hot. You can't just wear a wig. And so, we're like, okay, no more traveling together.
Yeah.
We can't do this. You know what I mean? So, you don't want to shove it in their face that we really get along in real life.
Right.
Back in the day, now it's entertainment. People know, I like the mystery. And I remember like going to indie shows. They're like, hey, can I tell you my match? Like what I have planned out. And I'm like, nope, I don't want to know. I go, I don't want to know. I want to watch and then I'll give you my feedback. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if and also too, we're human. We make mistakes. There's oil on the ropes, sweat. If we slip and then the fans are like, oh, you effed up, that chant. And you're like, you know what? You get in here and do what we do. And let me see if you can carry on till the end and
Exactly.
change it up on a fly. You know what I mean? That's why
Yes.
back in our day, we didn't memorize the whole match. It wasn't choreographed. We knew the ending, but we called a lot in there. Thank God for hair covered up the mouth to talk to each other. But if something's not working, the fans are not going, okay, they're not biting. Oh man, they should be cheering for Trish. They should be cheering for this person. I need to turn it up. So I'll tell the girl, I go, protect yourself.
Mhm.
Cover your face because I'm gonna go ape shit. I'm gonna beat the hell out of you, cheat, bite, pull your hair, give you a wedgie, anything to get the fans to go, she's cheating. And then, you need to call it on a fly. So, and also too, when I was new, I thought it was choreographed. I'll be honest with you. I was so green and so new. And just when you miss a spot or you're like, oh no, this is what's next? What's next? You see it on their face. I'm lost. I'm lost. And then you're like going, that's the art of being able to call a match on a fly, not talking
Exactly.
backstage, knowing what the finish is or who's going over, and just going out and doing it.
So let's switch gears, talk about some of the charity work that you've done over the years, both in and out of wrestling. Tell me about some of the stuff you've done as far as charity work is concerned, stuff you've done to help out
Oh
in
my
your
goodness.
community.
Yeah, we do WrestleMania for GAW TV. And we do, a lot of women empowerment. And I'm really big into my personal heart and soul is like, the eye and tissue bank. Prior to wrestling, I don't know if you read this, I used to remove corneas, saphenous vein, bone, middle ear,
Really?
and heart valves for
Wow.
transplantation. So I wanted to go to med school, just like Trish. We were both wanting to go to med school. And I got the job at the eye and tissue bank because of my college experience. And I got so in love with that gift, like giving the gift of life. You know what I mean? I try to tell people, just because you signed that driver's license that your organ donation doesn't mean your family will say yes. You need to let your next of kin know, this is my wishes. I'm an organ donor. Please don't take that away from me. Even though my driver's license says it's okay, doesn't give us the right to remove it without that. You know what I mean? But yeah, I had to talk to families about it, and the thank you cards from the families, like helping other people live, like a better life and stuff like that. But yeah, we're all about charity, giving back, giving back. You know what I mean? So yeah, Mickey James and SoCal Val, we're all about giving back,
So that's pretty amazing though, that you wanted to go to med school before everything, came about. And so,
and that's how I got addicted to working out.
Really?
When I was cutting, not to be descriptive, but working on younger people, and they passed away so young from heart disease or being overweight and blood pressure and all that stuff. And I was like, I come from a foodie family. We eat what we want.
Oh,
you know what I mean? With McDonald's, like candy, I didn't have any restrictions. And it's like, oh my God, is this my future? And I got addicted to working out. My ex-husband opened a gym, and then I started teaching aerobics and started lifting weights. But when you see this in front of your face, you're like, I'm not the healthiest person ever. I don't eat well. I should be taking care of myself. You know what I mean? And that's what got me like addicted to working out, and my body changed. Then then the bodybuilding, and then the fitness, and then the wrestling.
Why do you feel passionate about helping out in your community?
It's very rewarding. You don't get paid for it, but you're doing something out of the kindness of your heart. And I just told somebody who bought something on my store, he bought earrings, and from the shipping, the earring broke off of it. And I go, oh my God. I have another pair of earrings. Would you like that instead? I mean, like, can I send that? Just keep the old ones. I believe in karma, and not take. You see a lot of that in our industry. Too much, I'll be honest with you. You got to be humble, being, giving, caring. And like, for me, like if I went back to wrestling, okay, I don't need to be on TV anymore. I would like to help the new talent out. I would love to be an agent or someone backstage and teaching the new girls. I don't need that. Someone to go, that was an awesome match. I don't need that pat on the back. I would like the other girls. You feel like a grandparent in this business. You want your family to do well. And in the wrestling community, we are family. So we are family.
There you go. There you go.
And but I like giving. You know what I mean? I live in San Diego, and I wish I can do a lot to help the homeless situation. I wish I had a solution for that and be able to house them and get them cleaned up and stuff like that. But I'm one person. We just need, the kindness is like, I had, I don't remember who I was walking with. And I said, hey, I don't remember the guy's name. It was a homeless guy. And I was like, hey, Ralph. And my friend goes, how do you know that he's homeless? How do you know? And I go, well, they're human too. You need to be kind. I mean, like, they're not dirt. You know what I mean? You got to give them some sympathy and compassion, Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But charity is like, everybody should be involved in the charity. It just makes, I think, it's medicine to your soul. Ooh, look at that. Medicine to your soul.
I love it.
I know. Oh my gosh, Stanley. Yeah. I'm so glad that you're like you're such a positive podcaster, like
Oh,
spreading
thank
the
you.
word of helping each
Yeah.
other. A lot of the other wrestling podcasts is not like that. It's not like this at all.
Well,
And
thank you.
it's
Means a lot.
I'm grateful that you are spreading kindness in the world and not just going, how'd you get started in the business? How'd you do this? How'd you do this? Just a typical wrestling podcast. You
Aw.
want to have something positive at the
Right.
end, right?
Absolutely. Yes. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming on. You're more than
Oh,
welcome to come back on the show.
thank you, Stanley.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you again. Bye-bye.
This is Wrestling with Heart. I hope you found this podcast to be informative and entertaining. If you did, please hit the subscribe button and look out for the next edition.